Patrick Laing here, founder and CEO of Certainty Management. I've been a sales trainer for over 30 years. I've run some award-winning national sales teams. Took one team from about 3.5 million a year to 7.5 million the next year to 15.8 million the next year to over 20 million a year. We went on to become the number one branch in the country out of 65 offices. We were a remodeling firm, and I went on to be promoted and called in to be the national sales trainer. So I speak from experience. I know how to sell. I know how to improve one's sales skills. I spoke on the last video about word choice and how important it is. One of the most important lessons I've ever learned is that when we say things as salespeople, we're biased. You know, we're the salesperson. We're automatically suspect, and with good reason. We're trying to sell something typically, and the customer oftentimes has their walls up and they're reticent to buy into what we're selling. But one of the best lessons I've ever learned, or examples I've ever learned of effective selling, is to remember that the more we can say in third person, the more effective it is. This is when, instead of saying, I think you should do this, we say, this is why people are doing this. This is the feedback we're hearing. We hear from a lot of people that such and such. Many of our customers tell us X. See, it's a really interesting principle and a lesson, because where third person speech is actually softer and more subtle, it's at the same time stronger and more effective, because you don't have the same issue of being suspect, of viewing you as biased, because you're just the messenger. You're not saying it. Everyone is saying it. And so it's this really interesting dynamic of being stronger, but also being softer, more subtle. And so I highly, highly recommend it. Of course, the strongest statements are not our own. If we can speak in third person, they're 10 times as strong as when we ourselves say it. But the very strongest statements are when our customers can say it. I'll give you an example. George, you really shouldn't be up on that ladder. Their ladders are the number one accident. Goes to emergency rooms. People get hurt all the time. You should take a close look at our clog-free rain gutters and see if we could help save your neck. That's very salesy, right? It's first person. I sound salesy. I sound biased. It's even a little pushy, right? Far stronger for me to say, George, we hear from customers all the time. They tell us they just don't want to be up there. They don't like heights. They know it's risky. They know that it's the number one accident that lands people in emergency rooms, falls from ladders, and it's just not worth it. One fall, the feedback we hear is that it could absolutely change their lives forever. It's just not worth it. An investment in rain gutters like ours may be a big investment, but the feedback we hear and are hearing from our customers is that they'd much rather put a little bit of money into that, save their neck, and never have to get up there again, especially in the rain and the muck and the mold and the, dead squirrels and whatever else is up there. But that's the feedback we're hearing, that it's just not worth it. It's a very small investment compared to the time, that the gross, the gunk and the just the risk that they face by getting up there year after year after year on a rickety ladder. So see, I said the same thing. I actually said more details and more selling points, but by saying it in third person, I'm not saying it. Everyone is. The masses are saying it, and it's so much stronger. And yet at the same time, very interestingly, it's also more subtle and less salesy. Then the third example, the most powerful example, is for me to say, so Mary, tell us, why do you not want George up on that ladder? And let his wife tell him, or his significant other, or her husband. Get them to say it. Get them to sell themselves. And that, of course, comes down to asking good questions. So that's my tip for the day. There's lots more I could share with you, but we've got all year. So keep coming back. I'll give you more insights. But this is my gift to you, my Christmas gift, Hanukkah gift, call it what you will, my happy holidays gift to you. Some sales tips that, if you'll use them, can make a difference in your work. I wish you the best. Take care.